You said you were going to tell me more about the Devil's former band.
You really do not waste time, do you? Anyway, only a few fellas out of the whole glorious pack survived the shitstorm, and it's not certain they are still alive. As far as I know, Matthew, Bahuta, Raniak, Janosch, and Eder survive. I only know where to find Bahuta. And maybe Matthew. But who knows?
Tell me about Bahuta first. Who is he, anyway?
Well, Bahuta, he was always in trouble. Angry as a dog and covered in bruises. He and his brother could drink all the beer in the inn. Just the two of them. Then they would make a terrible ruckus.
It sounds like you three would get along well. But you said his brother was dead.
Yes, he died right before Bahuta's eyes. Not pretty. Bahuta has been acting weird ever since. He dropped everything overnight and turned to prayer. As if he was scared of being next in line.
Where can I find Bahuta?
At the rectory in Grunt. He helps out with the church.
Did you ever see him again after they caught the devil?
Yeah. But there was no reasoning with him.
Do you think it'll be different now?
Look, I don't know. Maybe when he hears the devil's back, he will come to his senses. But I doubt it.
I'll go over there and try to talk him into it. There's no harm in trying.
But be careful. Bahuta was never far from giving someone a beating. Maybe he's still got that in him. It was Slavic who kept him from ending up on the gallows because of a fight. Oh, but he's already with the Lord.
Now tell me something about this Matthew fella. Someone with a name like that surely can't be all bad.
The name may be pretty, but he's as ugly as sin. You better not stare at him too much. It is not good for your stomach. He's also a damn willy bastard. People say he likes to rob on trade routes, telling his victims he's collecting tax for the king.
It curdled a bit.
If he's so crooked, why did you take him into your band in the first place?
Nasty characters are more suited to our line of work. It is much harder to convince good people to do bad things.
What about me? Am I not a good person?
Well, that's true. I hope you're not a spy who will rat us all out to Sigismund.
And where do I find him?
I hear there's someone robbing merchants on the roads near Miskovitz. That would be fitting for him. Maybe the bailiff can tell you more. It's practically happening in his yard.
Well, this doesn't seem too bad.
What about the rest of the band? You mentioned more than one person.
Of course. That leaves Janosch, Eder and Raniak. I don't know where they are, but I can tell you about them.
Who is this Adder? What kind of nickname is that, anyway?
Oh, that's easy. He's called Eder because he can't keep his snake in his breeches. Oh, he's Polish. He does not speak our tongue, so only Janosch can speak to him, really. But otherwise, he's a fucking hilarious. And when shit gets tough, he can really handle it.
Do you know where he could be?
I have no idea. But if you find Janosch, Eder will be nearby. The two of them are practically inseparable.
How am I supposed to communicate with Adder? I don't speak a word of Polish.
Yes, you do. We all say kurwa. You must use your hands and feet for the rest. I always manage, and so will you.
Tell me more about this Raniak.
Raniak has a great aim. Slightly better than me, even. Oh, and that bow of his, I tell you, is a masterpiece. That is how you will know it is him.
How did he get that bow?
How do you think? He won it playing dice. But that was the first and last time he ever won anything. If anyone is really unlucky, it is him. But he would not stop if you were to cut off his hands.
Do you have any idea how I could find him?
Oh, I don't know anything about him. Try asking around at inns where they play dice. It is possible he lost his hose in one of them.
Did you ever see him again after the devil was captured?
Oh, just once. He wanted me to lend him money. He did not have any to bet with. But I was skinned and looking for a way to get the devil out of jail. Either way, I told him to fuck off, and he listened to me.
Tell me about this Janos.
Janos? He's from Hungary. He speaks like a Tatar, but at least you can understand him a little, unlike Ada.
And how did he get here?
Oh, well. Now
Did he defect from Sigismund?
Not at all. He did something back home, had the gallows waiting for him, so he fled to Moravia. He was having the time of his life until recently. Wine, women, and song. But now he has problems because people take him for a human. But if you knew how he can cook, give him a dead rat and half a carrot, and he will cook you a 3-course dinner.
How can I recognize this Janos?
Like I said, he looks a bit like a human. He speaks almost like we do, but in a queer way. Where you talk to him, you will definitely notice it.
I'm already liking this Janos. I think we'll get along well.
Janos, why?
why the hell do they pour the beer on the table?
I like good food too. Life is always better with a full stomach.
You two will surely get along then. Janos has seen a lot of the world, tasted everything. If you let him, he will talk about it all day long.
Thanks. I'll go and look for them.
They may sound like a bunch of morons as I tell it, but they will be damn useful to us. Good luck!
I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention.
Your hand cannons have done us more harm than good.
But we shot that mare beautifully. The devil himself couldn't have aimed any better, and he's skilled with hand cannons.
How long have you been a warrior?
I was supposed to be a carpenter, but the job wasn't for me. Most of the time I couldn't even hit the chisel with my mallet. Then I lost my master's money playing dice, so I had to run away. Then I came across a group of mercenaries, and they hired me. Once I got a taste of money, I chose to stay. So, it's been a while now.
Who taught you how to fight?
No one. I was absolutely awful. But I could drink their command under the table, so they let me stay with them. I learned the rest as I went along.
That commander, was it the devil?
No. I only met the devil later, with another band. I've been through several. Once they stop paying, or you run out of things to steal, it's best to go and try your luck elsewhere.
That's exactly what happened when they captured the devil, isn't it? The band broke up.
More or less, but I think he understands. You see? That's mercenary honor.
What honor?
Exactly. There is none.
Why were you the only one of your band who tried to save the devil?
I don't think I could sleep easy if they actually executed that old bastard. Fuck, I know the devil better than I know my own old man. And he still owes me groschen from our last trade. And I take that seriously.
How do you know Zizka?
I think I know him from the ambush near Prague.
Who did you ambush?
His men actually ambushed us. Actually, the outcome was quite similar. They jumped us at a bend. Before we knew it, blood was spilled. They killed our whole band. I was the only one to survive.
Just you? How so?
I was so fucked up that as I cocked my crossbow, the bowstring broke off and slashed my hands.
And you still have both of them?
Saint Bibiana must have been watching over me. My gloves came off, revealing bloody gashes on my palms, like Christ himself. I reckon they had fun watching me jump around, curse and flail my arms. So they kept me. I kept that bloody bowstring for luck.
Earlier, you mentioned a bunch of peasants taking up arms against Sigismund.
Aye, a bunch of villagers. But they might be onto something.
How are they trying to fight Sigismund?
Do not imagine anything too grand. Mostly they are just trying to survive. Some time ago, they raided a supply caravan heading to Sigismund's camp. Then the very same supplies turned up with the hungry families in Miskovitz. They are doing a good job. But if they keep stepping on Sigismund's toes like that, he will go after them, and soon.
We could use a band like that.
I agree. But Zizka was against it. You saw it yourself. I promised I would not look for them.
So, what are we gonna do?
Well, I'm not going to break my word. But you did not make any such promise, did you?
Ah. Do you know where to look for them?
From what I know, they mostly hang around Miskovitz. It seems they use a secret password to recognize their own.
Password? What password?
Fuck, what was it? Ah, I remember. The fox is in the henhouse.
How did you learn their secret password?
When Dry Devil's band broke up, I was looking for a company to join. Then this one time at a tavern, there was this scrawny, drunken loudmouth going on about the peasants' revolt and shouting out the password for all to hear. Some old woman from Miskovitz slapped that lad so hard his chin hit the table.
Right, so I'm supposed to look for a scrawny, drunken loudmouth.
We have plenty of those already. I reckon you ought to talk to the old crone. I have a feeling she might be the way to get to that. Try telling her the password and see what happens.
All right. I hope I won't get slapped too. So this is a popinjay contest, is it? What exactly do we have to do?
There's nothing to it. You get your arrows, stand on the mark, and shoot down them strawbirds I set up around the range as fast as you can. The winner's the one who knocks down the most strawbirds. If there's a tie, whoever finishes shooting first wins. Any idiot can understand the rules, but that doesn't make it any easier. So if you're not feeling too sure, you'd better see how you get on with the beginners first. You may not win as much because the stakes are lower, but you have a better chance.
How did you meet Dry Devil?
For the first time? Not in the best of circumstances, that's for sure. A few years ago, my company was attacked near Olomouc, and he spared nobody except for my noble master.
Wait, what was that about?
We were fighting for Margrave Jobst, and he for his brother Prokop.
Why did he let you live?
Because I shot and killed 2 of his men, and crippled 3 others, before he bashed me over the head.
And he just let you go?
Not a chance. I woke tied up with a splitting headache. Dry Devil was all fired up, betting with his men that they'd boost me up.
And what was the catch?
That fucker took me to the ramparts and said that if I piss and hit the ale pitcher down below, he'd let me go. Otherwise, he'd try to hit the ale pitcher with me. The prick.
Wow. You're quite the sharpshooter, Kubyanka.
You bet I fucking am. But you don't know shit about it.
Teach me something, then. I'll happily pay for it.
It'll take some time. But for a few groschen, I'll teach you whatever you want.
Why do they call you the Dry Devil, anyway?
Why do they call you fuckhead?
But they don't call...
All right, I was only joking. I don't even know how I got the nickname. Suppose it could have something to do with all the killing and my natural beauty. It's certainly catchier than His Grace Sir Hinnek the First of Kunststadt and Yashpitz. That name wouldn't scare a fucking coward. But say it Dry Devil, and everybody just shits themselves.
How do you know Kubyanka?
He saved my arse back at Neuhaus. We only made it out thanks to him. I thought we were fucked. But then Kubyanka appeared, dragging a ladder, asking how much we would pay for it.
What did he get for it?
The first thing he got was a good fucking beating, because we thought he'd been dead for 2 days. But after we escaped, we made sure he didn't have to pay for drinks for a long time.
How long have you known Zizka?
It's been a while. He served with me during the Moravian-Margrave Wars.
So you were his commander, sir?
That's water under the bridge now. I'm just an old wanted robber baron whose neck you and Zizka just saved. I don't give a shit about the sirs anymore, you see?
Ah, all right then. What can you tell me about Zizka?
Well, based on what you two have been through, I'd say you should know him pretty well by now. When everything is fucked, people around you are dying and you're fighting for your very life, only then can you really learn what a person is like.
Why did they want to hang you?
I reckon my face bothered them. More likely they're pissed off I'm not a hypocritical fucker like they are.
And that's a reason for execution?
Unlike the hypocrites in the League of Lords, I'm not ashamed of what I am.
I know they call you Dry Devil.
Aye. They call me a lot of things, laddie. And that's what rankles the Lords, that I'm getting rich at their expense. And that's some fucking fat loot they stole from the king.
So you're on the king's side?
I'm on the side of whoever pays me, lad. And I'll tell you one thing. I've never gone back on my word. My noble word is my oath. Unlike that of bastards like von Bergau or von Rosenborg.
Have you been at war?
Aye, I fought in Moravia, and I'm still the hetman of the royal city of Znaim. You're just a yokel. So you hardly know what's been going on in the kingdom these last few years?
You're an experienced warrior. So teach me something.
Not a damn thing, lad. Not unless you pay me well. But first, bring me some good wine.
All right. Here you go.
Ready. What is it you want, then?
Praised be Jesus Christ.
Now and forever.
Excuse me, are you Behuta by any chance?
That's right, I am. If you're here to right old wrongs, be my guest. God knows I deserve it.
I don't need to right any wrongs. The devil sent me to see if you would rejoin his band.
He is free, and he still hasn't learned. Anyway, tell him I'm definitely not going back to that life.
Why don't you want to go back?
I want to reform myself, to redeem myself before the Lord God, and to earn his absolution. There is no way to do that if I am with the devil.
I'd like to find the rest of the devil's pack. Do you know anything about any of them?
Just Ranyek. It has been a few days since he was here.
What did he want from you?
He was begging me for some coin. He said he had a game in Pshitoki, and that he would definitely win this time. As always.
Ranyek still hasn't given up dice, eh?
That fella will never learn, and he's already lost everything. He won a really nice bow once, and he's had nothing but bad luck ever since.
Do you know where I could find him now?
Last time he told me he had a game arranged in Pshitoki. Maybe he's still there.
Thanks. Hopefully I'll find him there. I'll be on my way. I probably won't convince you anyway.
Hold on. While you're here, we can pray for the devil's soul together. God knows he needs it badly.
We can. Though I don't know if it'll help anything.
Every soul can be reformed if it so desires and sincerely repents of its sins. Look at me. I used to kill, drink, spend nights with whores, but I learned that it was the wrong way, and now I'm trying to make amends.
Why all of a sudden?
Come pray with me and I'll tell you. Hey, how did you get involved with the devil anyway?
By accident. It was thanks to Jan Žižka.
So, you know Žižka too. Where from?
It's a long story. But if you came to the Devil's Den, I'll tell you all about it over a beer.
Nice try, lad, but I'm staying away from the drink. It's just not worth it. What do you think of the devil anyway? Just as I thought.
I didn't say anything.
Exactly.
Where did you say you wanted to pray?
Right here. At my brother's grave.
Is that Slavek's grave?
You know my brother's name?
Aye. Kubienka told me about you both.
Aye. We were in the band together, but the priest was kind enough to let me bury him here.
Was that important to you?
It was. When Slavik was killed and the band broke up, I didn't know what to do. Father Havel put a roof over my head and showed me a completely different life than I had known before then. Together with my brother, I buried my past here, and vowed over his grave that I would never harm another living soul.
This is where you want to pray for the devil?
Here is where I found reconciliation and peace of mind. Where else should I pray for the devil to find his own?
Why did you decide to leave everything behind and start a new life here?
Because of my brother. I was with him in his last moments. He was completely overcome with horror. I never thought he could be so scared.
But you must have been used to seeing death.
He did not fear death, but what comes next? He knew the kind of life he had led, and everything he was responsible for. Now he's paying for it. It may be foolish, but I believe that if I reform myself before the Lord God, he might forgive Slavik too.
Don't you want to help the devil?
That's not up to me. He has to help himself. I can only pray for him.
Well, that's not going to help him much. He needs you, not your prayers.
I can give him nothing more than a sincere prayer.
Prayer certainly can't hurt, but do you think it will be enough?
Enough for starters. What more do you want?
Your faith?
Aye, like I said, let's pray for him. But that alone can never be enough.
All right. Let's do this then.
Aye, but it's Latin, so listen carefully and repeat after me. Pater Noster, qui isn't careless, sanctify cater, or no man's tomb. Adventure ad rectum to whom, fet voluminous to her, seek it, inhale it, enter her. Your turn now.
You're saying it wrong. Listen. It goes like this. Pater Noster, qui es in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum. Adveniat regnum tuum. Fiat voluntas tua. Sicut in cielo et in terra.
All right, I know the rest. Panem most room. Quote, idi.
Panem nostrum quotidianum da nobis hodie, et dimite nobis debita nostra, sicut et nos dimittimus debitoribus nostris, et ne nos inducas in tentationem, sed libera nos a malo.
Amen. I know it too. That's all I can do for the devil, so you'd better get going now, eh?
Aw, you pooch. God be with you. What do you need?
How is life in Grund, Father?
There is divine peace here. It's probably because we're far enough away from the hustle and bustle of the city. The locals are hard-working, and they come faithfully to Mass and to confession. I couldn't wish for a better parish.
I'm glad to hear it.
Aye, sometimes someone gets into a scrap in the tavern. But I reckon that happens everywhere. It might actually be a good thing. God be with you.
Good day to you. Greetings.
You've no business here.
Same to you.
I never want to see you here again without permission.
Whatever.
Was darf's heute Morgen sein?
I'm looking for someone. His name is Raniek, and he carries a nice bow.
That means nothing to me.
And he plays dice. A lot.
Ja, jetzt weiß ich's. Gestern hat sich völlig betrunken. Yesterday we some Pole. They were causing a ruckus until the morning. And I'm still feeling sick.
This drunk Pole, was his name Adder, by any chance?
Ja, Adder. They say there's a whole Geschichte behind it.
Aye, I know it. I'd like to know where he is now.
You should ask the butcher's wife, Eve.
Why should I ask the butcher's wife?
Well, why do you think?
Do I have to make you say it? How does this concern Adder?
It's just some village clutch.
Look, I've heard a lot about Adder. If he was sticking it where he shouldn't have, I'd rather know before some cuckold comes at me with a pitchfork.
Knowing our butcher, you're not far from the truth, glaub mir. Letzte Nacht, Adder suddenly disappeared, just at the same time as the butcher's wife, Eve, did.
She left alone at night.
Leider ja. Her man passed out on the table right there in the inn. What else could she do?
So Adder took the opportunity.
Natürlich.
So where is the local butcher's?
If you go to the village from here, the butcher's Grundstück is the very last one.
I'll go to see her. Maybe she knows something.
You should be careful. The butcher does not like seeing other men around his Eve.
Where can I find this Raniek?
Try asking the man who paid for his losses yesterday.
Was he broke?
He lost a small fortune here yesterday. It looked like he was going to get a nice beating because he lost more than he had. But a bunch of Kerle from Bilani, who also came to play, lent him some coin. I reckon they felt sorry for him.
And do you know where I could find these men from Bilani?
In Bellany, I reckon.
Thank you for this priceless advice.
Tut mir leid. My head is still ringing like a bell after last night. If I were you, I would ask the Bellani innkeeper. With luck, you will run into them right there.
I should ask the Bilani innkeeper about the other players, aye?
Ja, Spieler from all around meet at his inn, so you might just run into them there.
Why would they pay for Raniek? Did they know each other?
I do not think so. Maybe they just felt sorry for him. They played a lot themselves, but you could see that Raniek just could not stop.
I'll be on my way. And thank you.
Nichts zu danken. Bis bald.
Good afternoon.
I'm looking for someone, and the innkeeper said you might be able to help.
Is that so? Who is it?
A wandering man at arms. He's a foreigner, a Pole. They call him Adder.
And the innkeeper sent you to me. How nice of him. As if the whole village didn't know already. Now he's going to tell everyone who just walks by. Who are you anyway? Some friend of his?
Something like that. I just need to find him.
Then you better hurry up. My old man wants to murder him.
Why does he want to kill him?
Because he's a stubborn fool who won't let me explain. And believes gossip over his own wife.
Your innkeeper told me you were fooling around with Adder. Is that right?
Excuse me? What are you talking about, you cheeky rogue?
All right. I'm sorry. Tell me what really happened.
That doesn't matter anymore.
If you don't tell me, I'll have to go to your husband and defend Adder with my blade. Is that what you want?
No. Jesus Christ. Why are men like this? Huh? It's not that a beating wouldn't do him good. But I don't want him to be killed.
Then calm down and tell me what happened.
Nothing happened. I mean, not that the Pole wasn't interested. He was looking at me all night at the inn, but I avoided him. If my husband noticed anything, I'd be in big trouble. But he got so drunk he fell asleep on the table, and I couldn't wake him up. So I got up and went home alone. Ada must be damn quick, because he beat me home and waited for me at the door.
What did he want? Did he hurt you?
No, and I don't know what he wanted either. He was drunk, and since he doesn't speak our tongue, I couldn't understand him. Then he hiccuped, fell to the ground, and started snoring.
And what happened then?
He's a big man, so I couldn't move him. I just left him sleep there till morning. That's when my husband returned. And when he found him, he threw a fit. He thinks I had something with Ada. Me! Me, who has been loyal to him all these years. If he'd taken one good look at Ada, he'd have seen it wasn't even possible. Ada was still dead drunk in the morning.
I'm sorry, but I couldn't help but notice. Is that bruise from the butcher?
He doesn't mean it. He just doesn't know what he's doing when he's angry.
I'll at least give you something for the pain. Here you go. A potion for the pain. It should help you quickly.
Thank you.
And where will I find your husband, Ada, and the rest?
Outside the village, in the direction of Kuttenberg. There's a lone tree in the middle of the field. You can see it from a distance. They said that's where they'd take him, so that no one can see them.
You said others went with your husband.
Aye, some men from the village.
And did they have weapons?
They're no soldiers, but they carried axes.
How many of them?
How should I know? 3? Maybe 4?
That sounds like even more trouble. I hope we can sort it out peacefully.
Please, tell me they won't get hurt. My old man put them up to it. It's not their fault.
Don't worry. If I can, I want to settle this peacefully. I better go and see your husband. The sooner it's over, the better.
Hurry up, please. Care.
Go! Go! Ka! 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 Go! Keep it up. Ka! Quick!
Panie, mój Boże, wysłuchaj mnie. Całe życie Mordowałem i ruchałem. Więcej razy paliłem kościoły, niż byłem u spowiedzi. Wybacz swemu słudze. Wybacz. Wybacz i pozwól mi jeszcze tylko raz wykastrować tych bezbożnych skurwysynów!
Shut up! No one can listen to your damn gibberish!
Twoja baba i tak do końca życia będzie pamiętać o mojej polskiej kiełbasie!
I'll shut that gob of yours!
Ciebie i twoją matkę piekło pochłonie. Niech was piekło pochłonie!
Wait! Stop!
A co to za kutas?
What do you want? And who the hell are you?
Leave him alone and untie him.
Why would I do that? Do you know what that bastard did?
If you're talking about the rumors in the village, it's all lies. Nothing happened.
You don't know what you're talking about. That whoreson defiled my wife, my Eva, eh? He should be glad we're only gonna hang him. If I had my way, we'd castrate him as well.
That scoundrel belongs to the Lord of Suchdal Fort.
What does he want with him?
He defiled the Lord's cook, 2 maids, the captain's wife, and stole a statue of the Madonna from the chapel, over which he then did all kinds of lewd acts. They're building a gallows for him at Suchdal.
But what about me? I want satisfaction too, or at least compensation.
You want to argue with Peter of Pisek's armed men? They're already on their way.
As you wish, she's all yours. But the cow is mine, and she's coming with me.
Oh, fuck.
Chwała Polsce, kurwy! Jebać was!
He's twitching too much. I'll have to cut the other end, on the tree.
Look at him swing. Let him.
Soon he'll be dead. Serves him right. Isn't it taking a bit too long?
Kurwa!
He'll go limp. Twitch once or twice. Shit himself.
Zaraz kogoś zajebie.
Let him eat dirt.
Just let him choke. What more do you want from me?
I just want to tell you that you're a pathetic fucking good-for-nothing.
Watch your tongue. Be glad the Pole's still breathing. Take him away and don't show your face round here ever again.
Let him eat dirt.
Just let him choke.
Boli, boli.
Because I'm a good Christian.
Absolute saint.
Au! O kurwa.
That fucker's got more luck
O
than
kurwa, było blisko.
You can say that again.
He shows up
Gdybym nie
ever
miał
again.
chociaż tego kociokwiku.
Anything in his noggin, he's not coming back.
No to czemuż to przylazł?
I know these bastards.
Czego chcesz, młody?
Go wherever the prick points.
I say we should have castrated.
O kurwa mać. Mało brakowało. Kimkolwiek jesteś, masz krzepę. Ale teraz to sam bym wpierdolił tym gównojadom.
I reckon you want to know who I am, right? I'm Henry. Henry.
Heniek, a dlaczego ty mówisz do mnie jak do głupca?
Yes, that's me. Henry. I was sent by Dry Devil. He's waiting for you at the Devil's Den.
O, żeż kurwa, czart żyje? To jeszcze go nie powiesili? Kurwa, patrz, głupim to szczęście sprzyja. Te kiepy niemyte ciągle się z nas śmieją. Kurwa mać, aż mnie świerzbią ręce. Hej, młody, daj mi jakąś broń.
Bronny... What?
Broń! Rozumiesz?
A weapon? You want me to give you a weapon?
Tak, kurwa!
Well, you'll have to wait a bit. They'll surely find you something in the Devil's Den.
Ależ z ciebie jest cipa, wiesz? Gdyby to był Janosz, ten by mnie tak nie zostawił. A co z Janoszem? Przecież zostawiłem go tam na pastwę losu.
Janos. You mean Janos Uher?
No Janosz! W Myskowicach go schwytali.
You mean Miskovic? Janos is in Miskovic.
Tak, w Myskowicach.
Fantastic. I'll go and get him, and we'll be at the Devil's Den in no time.
Ale do diabła, pojmali go!
He was what? Doesn't matter. I'll find him. You go to the Devil's Den.
No dobra. Ale tylko tego nie spierdol, kurwa.
Ever again? If he's got anything in his noggin, he's not coming back.
Praise the Lord.
God be with you, neighbor.
I hear a certain Matthew has been rampaging round here.
Do you mean Matthew the Collector?
Collector? Is that a nickname?
That's what he calls himself. He says he's collecting for the king on the roads. But he's just a common bandit. And a real pain in my ass. If I didn't have to deal with this Janos Uher bullshit, I'd have dealt with that scumbag by now. But as they say, misfortunes never come lightly. When there's bullshit, there's a lot of it.
Where does Matthew the Collector rob people most often?
He has already robbed several traders on the roads between our village and the Sukhdol fortress. You'd better avoid those places. Although, there is a bounty on Matthew, if you dare. Not too measly, actually.
I'd be happy to help. The likes of him belong behind bars or in the pillory.
Or the gallows. Listen then. Besides the fact that Matthew robs traveling merchants, he also has something much more valuable. If you can bring it to me, you'll get your reward.
What precious thing can a bandit like him have in his possession?
Here's the thing. Not long ago, a certain master illuminator was passing through. An interesting man, honored guest. I gave him lodging and food at my house and asked him a few questions. He said he was delivering a book to Sedlets, for which he had been asked to make pictures. He was very careful with it and kept it close the entire time. He left at dawn the next day.
And what happened then?
They found him dead by the wagon he arrived in, which was burnt. The book had vanished into thin air. If Matthew's involved, And I bet he is. He must still have the book.
Where does Matthew the Collector rob people most often?
Were you not listening to me? Somewhere by the roads between Miskovitz and Suchto.
Janos Uher?
That's the scoundrel I have locked up in the pillory outside my house right now.
What did he do?
He was trying to rob the blacksmith's house, but Loisa, his helper, caught him. He lunged at him, but Janusz pulled out his axe, and the lad ended in a bad way. God knows if he'll survive. If we have to bury Loisa, I'll make sure Janusz hangs.
How about I treat this Loisa boy? Would you let Janos go free?
What do you care about him? Is he some pal of yours?
I wouldn't say pal, exactly. It's more like we have some mutual friends.
All right. If you heal Loisa and pay for that scoundrel, I'll let him go. But don't let him show his face around here again.
What exactly did Janos do to Loisa?
He slashed him with an axe, the murderer, right in the stomach. He's got a deep, gaping wound there, like a gate to hell. We don't have an apothecary or a sawbones here. The herbalist says he only has 2 more days left.
I'll go to see Loisa.
As you wish, but be careful. He's in a really bad shape.
Poor fella. He's barely breathing. That wound looked quite scary. It's not so bad, really. It's deep, but it's clean, and it's not bleeding much. Let's see what we've got here. Janos really fucked him up. But if I clean the wound and bandage it tightly, he may recover in time. A healing potion wouldn't hurt either. I'm gonna bandage you now. Hold on a moment. I have a healing potion for you. Drink this. You'll feel better. Marigold decoction will speed up the healing. Well, that's done. It should be enough to keep him alive. I've already treated Loisa. He'll be all right.
Really? Well, it's true he's looking a little better now. He has a healthier color and all.
So everything worked out well. Can you let Janos go free?
Well, all right. But pay up first. Loisa needs something to live on while he's recovering. Think of it as compensation.
I'll pay right away. There you go. Now you can set him free.
Here's the key to the pillory. It's better if you free him yourself. I don't want him spitting on my boots.
I apologize.
Excuse me.
Hail Mary. Greetings to you, friend.
Apples! Juicy apples! Yellow, red!
Hey, what you gape at? Fish face?
Dry Devil sent me. He's looking for you.
Tell him Janos busy.
Oh. All right, then.
Dority, I just pulling pistol. Get me out of here, brother. My neck on line, hey?
The bailiff told me you almost killed some lad.
Fuck knows what shit he tell you.
So how do you see it, then?
I was hungry. I want bite to eat. You understand, eh?
So you stole something?
You accuse Janos of thieving? Look at this honest face. Am I right? I just look around for something. What happens? This cock-up come back. Everybody can shit himself. You too, no?
Who came back?
What I know? Some cunt. He's so crazy, he go for me. That's some crazy shit, no? What can I do, eh? I wag him a little bit. And now Bailey waiting to see if he die, and then I go swing.
Don't worry. I'll have you right out of there.
You some wizard, or what?
Well, not exactly. But I do have the key.
How the fuck you get that?
I healed that wounded villager. So the bailiff is letting you go.
Yeah, come let Janos kiss you. But get me out first. I am stiff like fucking corpse.
The pillory for the good, the gallows for the wicked.
Fantastic! I am stiff like plank of wood. Thank you, fella.
You can thank the devil and Zizka. They sent me for you.
Devil? How he get free, hey? Last I know, he rotting in chains.
Me, Kubienka, and Zizka freed him.
Zizka, that mad bastard here? Now that is something to look forward to. And what about Eder? You find him too?
He's in the devil's den already. He nearly got hanged in a neighboring village.
Him too? What did Polish fucker do this time?
It seems he was, playing hide the sausage with the Pshitaki butcher's wife. And the butcher wasn't too forgiving.
Ah, typical of him. To get hanged for some wench. Well, anyway, I will go now. We meet there.
Hold on. I had to buy your freedom.
You want it back? You fucked in the head. Hey, where I get coin? In fucking stocks? But, you know, I got something for you much better. What do you say to my sausage? Eh?
That's all right. Keep it.
Ah, if you say. I go now. I cannot wait to meet them crazy fuckers.
We'll meet at the devil's den.
I hope. We got things to drink to.